Kash Patel let the facts speak for themselves.
These documents show that people in leadership positions may have lied. Brennan, Clapper, Comey. We are not going to leave one document unturned.
In a recent interview on Fox, the FBI director explained the recent activities of his agency and delivered a clear warning to criminals.
In just 1 week alone, we have 550 total arrests of violent criminals, including dozens of firearms and 40 drug seizures.
That's why today, we're covering it all, because we're not here to follow parties blindly. We're here for common sense. So if you're an independent thinker, hit the subscribe button and let's jump right into it.
Kash, has there been a full investigation of the Mar-a-Lago invasion? Why, where, when, who did it? You talk about the leaders. I guess we can blame the leaders of the FBI, but there are a lot of people on the ground. I don't know how that all works. Question, has there been a major league investigation?
Look, Larry, on this one, as you know, I got to be careful in terms of what investigations we formally have open. But you know this from me. I've been on the RussiaGate beat for about a decade, dating back to my time with Congressman Chairman Devin Nunes, exposing the corruption at the FISA court, the illegalities and the weaponization there, and the involvement of Hillary Clinton's campaign to directly fund and weaponize the Department of Justice and the FBI. And what I'm committed to here as the director of FBI is to root it all out. And here's the thing, Larry, we are answering questions publicly so the public knows what we're doing in terms of whether or not we have an investigation. Putting that aside, these documents show that people in leadership positions may have lied. Brennan, Clapper, Comey. We are not going to leave one document unturned. That is why we are going out throughout this building and throughout the country and finding these materials that they wrote down in burn bags and tried to destroy.
While the Mar-a-Lago case never concluded, since the judge dismissed it on the grounds that the special counsel's appointment was unconstitutional, there were several red flags worth noting. For starters, the FBI was reportedly authorized to use deadly force during the search, and there were wild allegations at the time that Trump was hoarding nuclear secrets to hand over to the Russians. Yet, we haven't heard a word about the contents of those files since. That alone speaks volumes. Fast forward to February, and the FBI returned the boxes in question, describing them as, quote, personal items belonging to Mr. Trump and his family. But Larry wanted to know if there was any internal investigation going on over how this case was handled, and Kash gave an interesting answer.
But Kash, can you say there is an investigation of the FBI's role in that invasion?
I am, of course, overseeing the current matters that the FBI involved themselves with from RussiaGate on. And whether or not there's an open investigation, Larry, I think you know that I can't answer that, but I think you know that our partners across the IC would not be divulging this type of information if it did not serve some sort of use. For me, specifically here at the FBI, I can't speak for them. And of course, I won't speak to any charging decisions on any matters. That will come with the collaboration of our great partners at DOJ, who work hand in hand with us every day.
I know. All right, let me ask follow-up, though. Have the leaders, it's under a different regime, you came in, you're there now, the leader, but have the old leaders who assigned this and directed this operation, have they been dismissed from the FBI?
Every single person that has been found to have weaponized or participated in that process has been removed from leadership positions. And if and when we find any others that are involved in this, as you know, this is a 37,000 person agency, we are going to take swift action just like we have.
It's hard to say we're getting the full picture of what's happening inside the FBI, but a few key developments can give us a picture of what's going on. For one, reports indicate that around 1,500 personnel are being moved out of D.C. to various field offices across the country. On top of that, the FBI's headquarters has officially been relocated, quote, a step which has been in discussion for over a decade. We're also seeing something unusual. More media appearances from the FBI director, offering updates on different issues and investigations, which wasn't the norm in the past. On top of that, if you look at the most recent crime statistics, several outlets have confirmed a significant drop in major crime rates nationwide. It's reasonable to say that Patel's efforts to restructure and decentralize the FBI are playing a role in that progress. We're also witnessing a renewed focus on corruption probes, with Adam Schiff being at the center of one of them. So, naturally, Larry asked about the latest updates on that front.
But this business about mortgage fraud is cropping up everywhere. Now we have this Federal Reserve Governor, Lisa Cook. We had Senator Adam Smith. We got in New York, the Attorney General, Letitia James. Does the FBI do the investigating for mortgage fraud?
It's generally speaking, it's a multi-agency effort. And when we receive referrals, we reach out to the experts at FHHA and all the other institutions like the Federal Reserve and you're talking about. And we say, hey, if this is a matter that you want us to look at, you got to provide us with all the documentation and we will take a thorough look at it and work with our partners at DOJ on all of these matters.
If you have a contract, we've all done it, or most of us have done it. If you have a contract and it says, is this your primary residence? What's so hard about that? It's like binary. Yes, no. Yes, no. There's no fudging. Yes or no. I don't understand what's so hard about this.
We are going to rout out any sort of corruption, especially public corruption, because that's what President Trump promised the American people, and that's what this FBI is going to deliver.
Among the various cases being looked into, the one involving Adam Schiff stands out the most. Allegations suggest he may have used questionable tactics to quietly boost his personal wealth. It's also being claimed that, quote, Schiff also benefited from a homeowner's tax exemption by declaring his much smaller 650 square foot one-bedroom, one-bathroom condo in Burbank, California as a primary home, resulting in a $7,000 reduction in property taxes. From a legal standpoint, prosecutors would need to demonstrate, quote, that the loan's recipient knew they were lying, and simply submitting incorrect information would not be enough to secure a conviction. That's a high bar, which explains why in 2024, the federal government filed fewer than 20 total cases of mortgage fraud. To wrap things up, we have Kash talking about the results of Trump's federalization of D.C. policing. And let's just say the results were to be expected.
You and the FBI are helping to clean up Washington, D.C., which was badly in need of getting cleaned up. Can you say a word on that one?
Absolutely, Larry. Look, thanks again to President Trump. His initiative to clean our streets and rid them of violent criminals starting in our nation's capital. Let me speak to just briefly what the FBI did last night. FBI had 41 arrests last night, including 6 gun seizures and 8 drug seizures. That's 8 drug seizures and 6 guns off our streets. Now, the totality and the brilliance of the Trump administration and the Department of Justice combining forces with DEA, ATF, and the U.S. Park Police and our local law enforcement authorities. In just 1 week alone, we have 550 total arrests of violent criminals, including dozens of firearms and 40 drug seizures, to include narcotics, meth, fentanyl, cocaine, and violent crimes such as homicide, assaults, all here in our nation's capital. Larry, I live here now for most of the time, and when you walk around the streets, you'll notice the difference.
It should go without saying, but when the law is enforced and police are allowed to do their jobs without interference, crime rates fall. Even CNN had to acknowledge the impact. According to the report, in just 3 weeks after Trump federalized the D.C. Police Department, quote, crime incidents dropped by 10% from the previous 3-week period, while reportedly property crimes incidents fell by 25%. Additionally, burglary and theft from automobiles dropped by more than 40%, while motor vehicle theft was down about 35% and robbery was down about 19%. These results are the natural outcome of giving law enforcement the tools and authority they need to do their work effectively. It's not rocket science. It's just common sense. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on this story. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, keep thinking.